What is up, party people? Welcome to week 28 of 30 of the Rock of Ages tour. We're almost done. Thanks so much for coming along this far. It's been a good time. So on Monday, we flew to Buffalo, New York, because we really wanted to try some chicken wings. And we also were doing a show there the following day. So we had Monday evening to ourselves. We went and got said Buffalo chicken wings and kind of tooled around Buffalo a little bit. Tuesday, we woke up, did some morning things.
These halls are crazy. I'm getting very wet.
And I went to go pick up a rental car because after the show on Tuesday, Steven and I were going on an adventure. But we won't get there just yet. In Buffalo, we played Shea's Buffalo Theater. This historic movie palace opened its doors in 1926. It seats 3,700, and we had a very, very well sold house for a Tuesday night here in Buffalo. The audience was incredibly responsive, and some of us were starting to get a little teary-eyed because the tour's coming to a close pretty soon. So then, immediately after the show on Tuesday night, Steven and I got in the car and drove to Manhattan, which is about a 7.5, 8-hour drive. I think we actually made it in like 6.5 because we took toll roads. But Steven and I had to get to Manhattan because we had a callback for the Simon and Garfunkel story, which is another tour that's going to be hitting the road this fall. We got into Manhattan about 4:30 in the morning, got about 3 hours of sleep. I slept on the couch and Steven slept on the floor. I feel kind of bad about that because it was his apartment. He should have slept on the couch, but he was pretty insistent. He's a good dude. We got about 3 hours of sleep at the apartment, and then we went to Pearl Studios, did the callback, and then immediately got in the car at about 11 o'clock in the morning. We drove to Syracuse, New York, which is about a 5-hour drive from there, to catch up with the tour and do the show that evening. So, Steven and I did the show in Syracuse that night, pretty severely sleep deprived, but caffeine is a wonderful thing. And in Syracuse, we played the Landmark Theater. It opened its doors in 1928 as a movie palace and seats just about 3,000. Then on Thursday, we had an 8:15 a.m. bus call heading to Cleveland, Ohio, where we performed at the KeyBank State Theater. This was our third former movie palace in a row. It opened its doors in 1921 and seats 3,400. Right next to the theater was the cutest little Italian bakery that Christina figured out was still open after the show, which never happens, and it was called Corbo's. Highly recommend it. I had one of the best cannolis in my life at Corbo's. Then on Friday, I left the tour for the day to fly back to Manhattan for final callbacks for the Simon and Garfunkel story. The tour was gracious enough to let me take the night off to fly to Manhattan, and I'm so grateful for that. No news yet on the tour, but either way, I'm glad I made the trip. I got to spend the evening back home and check in with some of my favorite people in New York City.
It seems such a waste of time, and that's what you're all about.
On Saturday, I flew to Indianapolis to catch back up with the tour, where we played the Clues Memorial Hall on the campus of Butler University. Built in 1963, this gorgeous venue seats just under 2,100. It was cool being in Indianapolis because Indianapolis is actually where I'm doing my next gig right after the tour closes. We closed the tour on June 19th and rehearsals for my next show start on June 19th. I'm actually going to be missing the first day of rehearsal for Buddy Holly's story at Beef and Board's Dinner Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll be running from June 5th to August 18th. So if you're in the area or if you're gonna be in the area or if you wanna make a big fun trip out of it, come on down. I'd love to see you. If you are a subscriber to the vlog, be sure to write in the comments that you're coming to the show, and I would love to meet you after the show. Thank you for watching this channel. So, it's been an exhausting week, but it's been a good week, so I am glad that we are heading into a week-long sit in Tampa. Florida, here we come. But first, we're gonna stop over in Macon. Thanks so much for coming out. Chase your dreams, and cheers.
Happy birthday!